So I've been hearing a lot about this convention in San Diego called Comic-Con, which stands for Comic Convention. It's an annual tradition that happens every year. There's a lot of cool exclusive merchandise that I really found interesting, and all kinds of special guests like Todd McFarlane and Junji Ito, and just the guys with a lot of fedoras. It was really very, very interesting to me. Obviously, they've also got great cosplay there, like really good intricate costumes that are just really fun to look at. So I just knew I had to be there. On the first day of the convention, I showed up and walked into the doors. There's the sign right there. I was walking around the floor looking at all the cool things like this pinball machine and Sandland and stuff, and there's a Simpsons bag. And my first panel was the WWE wrestlers. So there's Seth freaking Rollins, and Chelsea Green showed up, and she's my favorite wrestling person right now. I also went to a panel for this game called The Expanse, and it's our first new title of the week. It's from Telltale Games, and they went out of business, but now they're back, and they are making a game based on the TV series The Expanse, which was on Sci-Fi Channel and then on Amazon Prime. And it looks pretty interesting, and you do all the things that you did in Telltale Games before, so I hope you like that because it's going to be really fun. So after the panel for The Expanse, I started walking around and I thought, why don't I check in on the notable titles? So I went into this line where they were going to talk about Shadowrun, but instead it just turned out to be an RPG playthrough of the game and not the actual video game. Then I saw some Alien vs. Predator statues, but that wasn't what I wanted either. I went by Capcom's booth to see if they had any Mighty Final Fight stuff, and they didn't. Just Street Fighter. I don't understand. It was definitely hell. Despondent, I walked around Comic-Con further trying to find more notable stuff, but all I found was Sandland everywhere. There was also a Blockbuster Video inside of the convention center. I thought they went out of business. Then there were these wrestling toys, Bianca Belair, Kurt Schilling, and Bobby Bonilla. Then there was this Wally robot. To ease my mind, I got together with the boys and we went to see the Barbie movie. We stopped first at Pinkberry and got some of the special Barbie yogurt. There's me holding it. Put it in my mouth. Fuck, it's so fucking good. Yeah, look at my face. Then there we are in the theater. The next morning, I returned to Comic-Con and was walking around. I found the Comedy Central booth, which was not funny. But you know what was funny? A bunch of white guys talking about Silent Hill. Real funny. Then there were these actually really inspiring women who work in the entertainment industry. Following that was Mega 64's 20th anniversary panel. Rocco was there to talk about Tron 3. And that was pretty much the end of my day at Comic-Con. From there, I went to Lucha Libre and I got this great burrito, the Auto Haba, and I put the red sauce all over it. It's super authentic Mexican food, and you should definitely eat it. Because, just look at how much I'm chowing down. I love it. This leads me into Venba, which is another new game coming out this week about a family of immigrants that move from India to Canada. And the matriarch of the family, Venba, is trying to make all the foods that are authentic to her culture and using her mother's old recipes. It takes place over several years starting in the 1980s, and Venba is trying to get her son to accept the food of his heritage, and it just looks really fucking gorgeous, and I cannot wait to play this game. It looks so good. The next morning I returned to Comic-Con and I went to the Comedy Central booth, and it just still was not funny. So I ended up going to this Camp Snoopy panel, which is an Apple Plus TV show. Do you got Apple Plus? I got it. They also unveiled a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for the new Camp Snoopy show. There's Snoopy with Woodstock, so I zoomed in on it, and I just stared into their souls because we're soulmates. Then there was the Quick Draw panel. It had Scott Shaw, as well as Tom Richmond, who works at Mad Magazine, and Floyd Norman, who's a Disney animation legend. Speaking of Disney, here's Illusion Island. This is a new puzzle platformer game that stars Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy as they fucking jump around and shit in these different biomes, trying to do something. I don't know. I didn't read up on this. You can read up on it, though. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. It looks like Celeste. Just play it. It looks fun. Just fucking play it. After that panel was the Cartoon Voices, which featured Elle Newland, who is actually a voice in the new game Remnant 2. This is actually the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, which came out in 2019. It's a third-person action-adventure game that kind of takes inspiration from the Souls games. It looks gorgeous. These graphics are just amazing. I love the way it looks. But there's also this air of genericness to it that just kind of really puts me off. It's supposed to be procedurally generated, which is real hot shit, so if that's what you like, check it out. Next, I went to a Street Fighter panel where they talked about cats instead. Then I went back on the floor, and the Comedy Central booth still was not funny, and I found out it's because it's actually a Square Enix booth. Then I met up with my friends who are furries. That's Fluxpaw, and that's the giraffe guy is Zarafa, and I think the one in the maid outfit is Candy Corn, and they just got a lot of attention on the floor. They were really well liked. That's an alligator guy, and there's a speedy guy, I forget his name, I'm sorry. So they just walked around, and we just kind of like took pictures of the people. We met Pennywise. That was a real treat for everybody to meet that guy. Then we took it outside to see, just what was going on. I was being led by Fluxpaw to something, and he wouldn't really tell me what we were doing until I eventually turned around and saw this gigantic mass of furries in the gas lamp. There's a guy dressed like the White Rabbit. There's some kid as a raptor. This dude is, I think, a wolf or something. There's a dead dog thing, and there's people were just out having a really good time, and it was like a lot of fun until this fucking guy showed up.
He's having fun! He having fun over there! He's having fun! USA! 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 My pronouns are USA! Thank you.
So let's talk about Double Dragon Gaiden, because I'm really fucking pissed off, and I wish I could have just beat the shit out of that fucking guy like these dudes are doing in Double Dragon Gaiden. But violence is never the answer, just video game violence. Double Dragon Gaiden is the latest entry in the long-running franchise. It actually looks like really fun, and while I generally don't condone violence, I do condone video game violence, except for that fucking guy. I will beat the fucking shit out of that fucking guy. Fuck him and what his fucking my pronouns are. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Anyway, we didn't let that get our spirits down. We still had a great time at the gas lamp at the furry meetup. It was really eye-opening. I had a great time, and you should all check out the furry fandom. It's wonderful. By the last day of Comic-Con, I was ready to give up on the notable titles. I just figured nobody cared about these old games anymore. Then I ran into local San Diego celebrity Rocco Botte, who is part of Mega 64, and he just had some really great, insightful things to say about these titles. So why don't we, just stop for a minute and listen to what he has to say.
So, have you seen anything here this week about Shadowrun Return?
Shadowrun Return is kind of the top game here at Comic-Con. You've got the shadows are just running all over the place. Some have returned from whence they came, and everyone just loves the couch co-op, the Flea multiplayer, and Flea, the music by Flea,
nice.
Who does. He provides slap bass, and let me tell you, Train, they're good.
Cool. Do you think Train likes the game Alien vs. Predator, which came out 20 years ago?
They were actually going to make Alien vs. Predator vs. Train. They were going to have Drops of Acid versus Drops of Jupiter, and then have the Predator's heat-seeking vision see both sides and reach across the aisle.
Cool.
But that didn't happen because the election and all the tragedy.
Right. Speaking of reaching across the aisle, in Mighty Final Fight on the NES from 30 years ago, do you think the gangs and like Cody and Hager and the other guy, who I can't remember his name, would get along with those guys?
I think they would, and actually my answer to that question is Metro City? Yes, Metro City. That's right. Everyone in Metro City gets along. Final Fight is a misnomer. It's a psyop. It's to divide the public, when in reality, everyone in Metro City gets along. There is no final fight. There is only first friendship.
Nice. I really appreciate you taking your time to talk to me about this.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And don't forget, the medicine, there's always medicine.
Yeah. Okay, no, I got it. All right, cool. All right, thank you.
Shut the camera off.
So that was it. I wandered around Comic-Con some more, saw some more Sandland, and then I went to the Trauma panel, which had Lloyd Kaufman, which, just once again really inspired me and my filmmaking. I drove home afterwards, and this crazy shit happened. So I've died. You've been listening to a ghost talk this whole time. I hope you enjoyed watching me at Comic-Con and learning about all the new games that are coming out, as well as some notable titles. Now, I hope that you will enjoy my funeral. There are refreshments in the lobby, so please make sure you get some of those. Say goodbye to my wife and daughter for me. They really mean a lot. And, I'm really happy that I was able to share this all with you at my funeral. Okay, take care, everyone. Goodbye.